Welcome to the racing preview here for Los Alamitos Racecourse. We're looking at the week of August 21st. Specifically, we're looking at Saturday's card here on this Saturday evening. Pleased to welcome back Chris Wade. Chris Wade here. We have a 9-race program for Saturday, and I feel like you got a horse that you like maybe in the second half of the card. Is that correct?
Yeah, I got one in the 8th race. This horse got a lot of ability, but seems to find trouble each and every start. This horse could somehow get away clean. Should have a big look in Saturday night's 8th race.
Race number 8 does begin the late double there. Races 8 and 9. Argumentative is drawn towards the inside here. Back on July 21st, he was tackling winners for the first time, Chris, that night. What did you see in that start for him, that effort?
Well, this horse got fractious as per usual, has been fractious pretty much every start here at Los Alamitos. And this horse back bobbled away from the gate with close quarters and cross. I gave the horse like about almost 2 lengths of trouble right there, length and 3/4. Kind of slow on his stride, was finishing very well the final half of the affair while under a hold and galloped out strong. Gave the horse a W, which means horse will watch on my charts. And with everything factored in, trouble, track variant, this horse's figure is somewhere along the lines of 1677 to 1681 on my charts, which puts this horse right there early and late. Versus a pretty group of horses. You got a shipper coming in for Jose Flores Tuck from Remington Park, who has some big numbers off the Derby trial figures, but this horse could somehow get out of the gate. Has a big look here on my numbers on the inside. A nice price at 6-1, argumentative in tonight's 8th event.
All right, Chris, thanks for that selection. And are you doing any other tracks there for your night lines?
Got some nice prices at Albuquerque Downs. We're taking the races 4 through 9 on Saturday night. I like a horse in the 5th race, so give it a look on the website or go to the Nightline program in the back, and we're going to try to help you out with some prices along the way at Albuquerque Downs.
Sounds good. Thanks, Chris, and have a good evening. We'll talk to you next week.
Okay.
Now at Los Alamitos, it's weekends full of thrilling action.
Racing!
With live quarter horse and thoroughbred racing every Saturday and Sunday nights. More races on our weekend night, plus strong fields in our early and late pick 4s. And we're still adding $10,000 into our pick 6 pool when there's not a carryover going into the Sunday card. It's a great deal in our traditional pick 6. Don't miss a second of the thrilling action at Los Alamitos.
Racing!
Every Saturday and Sunday nights.
Welcome back to the program. Pleased to see Michael Wrona back in the program. Before we get started, Michael, well done. Scoops Dynasty, well done. Take a bow. You defeated my selection, my pick there. You got Scoops Dynasty. I had Freight Trick until we ran one too, but big effort there from Scoops Dynasty from that outside post. We both took the horses with closing potential, and they delivered good performances, but Scoops Dynasty much the best there in the John Deere.
Yes, I saw you tweet your ticket, and I did feel for you, mate. My heart went out to you. But, it was a nice performance at 10-1 down the outside for Scoops Dynasty.
Yeah,
someone had something on the horse.
Yeah, he got out to a good start, and both the 10 and the 7 there, Scoops Dynasty and Freight Train Cartel, they both got out to much cleaner starts than what they did in the respective trials, and that led to a nice 1-2 performance there in the John Deere Juvenile California Regional Challenge. All right, back to the task at hand. Saturday night, Michael, we have 9 races there for the Saturday. There's a horse you like in race number 7. Is that correct?
Yes, Jose. It's a maiden race, and I like the chances of the second choice on the morning line, Pentos, who's had one start. He had a nice solo workout coming into his debut, and things didn't go very well for him in the early stages coming out of the rail draw on debut. We'll take a look at the replay in a second, but the horse began awkwardly. He was ducking in just after he began awkwardly. Then he raced greenly, and I thought it was a reasonable effort on debut. Let's take a look at him from gate number 1.
A little bit of a bobble as well.
Yeah, it was a bobble, and he ducked in a little bit. He was really quite green from the inside. Ultimately finished 4th, but it was a very good gallop out. If we take a look through the clubhouse turn, there was plenty to like here about his performance in the latter stages of the race. Now, there are several horses that have been getting into all sorts of trouble in recent races, and if things go their way, they might be very hard to beat. There's a horse at 8-1, Favourite Ambassador, who was well supported on debut off a really good gate work, and he got slammed around, and he was very green and erratic. He's had nothing go right for him. At the same time, he just began slowly of his own volition in his second start, and I just want to see him show a little bit more professionalism. The rail horse has been in trouble in all 4 starts, Fast Cat Prize. And again, if things go right for him, he can take a hand in the finish. And the morning line favourite, number 5, Bello Cartel, is a first-time gelding and races for a new trainer for the first time. He certainly has a good chance as well. But what I like about Pentos, Jose, is start number 2 for a 2-year-old. These other horses have had more than one start. I just like that timing. Jaime Gomez bringing him in here, second start, after a trouble-filled debut from the rail. So that's why I like Pentos to put forward a really strong effort and be hard to beat in the 7th race at 5-2 on Ed Burgart's morning line Saturday night.
Yeah, that was a pretty good effort there, despite a little bit of a slow start from that inside post. I think he kept the task, and he galloped out with good energy past the finish there. So second-time improvement to be had, maybe for Pentos there, going for Michael Wrona in gate number 3.
I'm not a Game of Thrones fan. I've never actually watched it, but I did research the name before his debut, and apparently it comes out of the Game of Thrones. So fans of Game of Thrones would be inclined to maybe throw a few dollars on him as well.
Wow, see, I did not know that. See, I'm not a Game of Thrones aficionado. I did not know that. So thanks for that tidbit.
Sure.
So Pentos, Michael Wrona in gate number 3. Looking forward to it. That is the start of the late pick 3. 9 races on Saturday. So that's the start of the late pick 3. That is also part of the late pick 4. Michael, thanks for your insight. Nice selection last week. Let's keep it going this week.
Hope so. Okay, good luck, everyone.
Have a good night. See you later.
Hoorah.
Night racing's best bets are at Los Alamitos Racecourse with the biggest pools of the entire season. Check out these numbers in the Los Alamitos Early Pick 4. On July 18th, the pool was over $207,000. On July 25th, it was over $188,000. And the Late Pick 4 pools are tremendous with over $168,000 on July 31st and more than $152,000 on July 25th. Plus, don't forget about our $10,000 Pick 6 promo on eligible Sundays as the total pool continues to rise each time. Night racing's best bets, Saturday and Sunday nights. Play them all at Los Alamitos.
Welcome back to the program. Fresh new week of races here at Los Alamitos. Back joined with Orlando Gutierrez. Orlando, this Saturday night we got 9 races, and it should be a fun card here leading up to Sunday's edition of the Los Alamitos Playing Stakes.
That's right, Jose. 9 races on tap on Saturday. 7:30 p.m. is our first post, and a big day of racing at Los Alamitos here as well for simulcasting. Of course, the Pacific Classic from Del Mar is the feature attraction, and Los Alamitos will be open with all the simulcast action, not only from Del Mar, from all over the country here at Los Al. So you can enjoy the simulcast action here during the daytime. Stick around for some great live quarter horse and thoroughbred action here at Los Alamitos. And again, that first post, 7:30 p.m.
And where you're actually sitting right now is a great spot to enjoy all of that simulcasting there in the Vessels Club.
Absolutely. Great food, nice atmosphere. The weather is absolutely great right now. So a perfect spot here to enjoy all the horse racing action from around the country.
So to look, but actually, before we get started, we had a nice tweet by a fellow that people know very well. I'll bring it up before we dive into the night lines and the replays. Let's show you none other than Mr. Ed Burgard, active on Twitter. This is what he said, Orlando. I know it is time consuming, but watching videotape replays is a key element to handicapping. So much trouble is missed in the limited common lines provided by DRF and Equibase. And that has been, I mean, that's very true in horseplay. If you kind of do a little bit more work there and replays, you'll find comments that you'll find trouble lines that weren't able to fit specifically in those short common lines that are provided by Equibase and DRF. So it is very valuable tool. LosAlamitos.com has free replays. And another thing to add to that element is that Los Alamitos provides the workout videos as well for 2-year-olds and even older horses as well. So, Ed Burgard definitely preaching a very important tool there.
And Jose, one thing that you could also pair up is the charts, the LosAlamitos.com. If you download the charts from LosAlamitos.com, it has the full comment, the full trouble line that our chart caller George Duarte puts in. after each and every horse. So you don't get like, just a little snippet. You get actually his full comments. Sometimes it has a little bit of info from the start, middle, and end of the race. So it can add to just, adding when you're watching those video works, and you can follow along the commentary and kind of take a better look at what may have happened in that race. It can lead you to then looking at the replay and finding the exact, some good plays and the exact trouble that horse may have had.
Yeah, and also, when I do my comments for the Nine Lines programs for each and every horse, I try to paint a picture of what happened in the race. So I try to watch a replay, kind of, draw a picture so that people can kind of picture in their mind exactly what happened at the start, maybe something in the middle, maybe something out towards the end of the race. So we try to give you as much information that it could be useful for the horse player. And of course, LosAlamitos.com with their free replays is also a great tool to be had. So get the Los Al charts as well. Good work there by George Duarte. The chart caller there at Los Alamitos. Orlando, you have plenty of time to catch up with people in the barn. Who were you able to catch up with this week here?
Well, last week we got pretty lucky. We talked to Angie Aquino, and she told us some nice things about Mystic Gray, and the horse won the first race of the night.
And who was aboard? Who was aboard, Orlando?
Edgar Payeras. You can't believe it.
Edgar Payeras. There you go.
Yeah, so this time we were fortunate enough to touch base with CC Perkinson. She'll be having a horse in race number 2, Charming Danza, 7:02 in the morning line. So you might find a little bit of a nice prize there on Charming Danza. But we talked to her about just her return to training here at Los Alamitos. Prince Ali, who she called him the glue of the barn. Just everything, the horse that's putting everything together for her barn, and of course Charming Danza here in a horse that will be racing on Saturday here at Los Alamitos.
Yeah, Charming Danza will be in race number 2 in gate number 7. Let's take a look there visiting CC Perkinson in the barn.
We're here in the barn of trainer CC Perkinson. First of all, Cece, you returned to training earlier this year. How's the experience going?
I've absolutely enjoyed it. It's been challenging to come back and take a different approach than what I've done years past. Learned a lot more as I keep going on, and I'm enjoying the fact that I actually now can get back on. It took me a while to get my sea legs, but now that I can actually get on in the mornings, I have a lot more sense of what's going on, and I do like that part a lot.
One of the highlights in your barn is a horse by the name of Prince Ali.
He is definitely the prince of this barn, without a doubt. I always wish for a prince. I should have known it's going to be in the form of a horse. He's just the glue of this barn currently, and the longer I have him, the happier this horse gets. He makes me laugh every morning, and he's just a solid, hard-running horse, and I am very blessed to have this horse.
On Saturday, you have a horse entered by the name of Charming Danza. He is 7:02 in the morning line. How do you think this horse will do? Ran pretty good early on for you.
Well, if he could go back to what he's done in his earlier races, his first 2 races, he got beat by a nose. If he can go back to that form, that would be fantastic. The thing is, he was my first horse when I got back into training. I bought him privately. I put all my eggs in his basket, and I know he has talent. And I get on him, I work him, I gallop him. He's got it. I know he does. But I tell you what I do want to do with him. He's not a sprinter. He doesn't like to be pressured early, which is why he's just kind of getting in on the board lately. He wants a route, and that's definitely where I'm going to head with him. So hopefully when I get a chance, I can earn him a mile, because when I gallop him in the morning, even if I breeze him, he takes a breath, and then he just takes off again, and then just goes out another mile. I mean, he's the biggest gallop out horse I've ever been on, and so I know he wants a route. Hopefully, though, he's going to run really sharp. I tuned him up a little bit, tightened up a few things. I put blinkers back on, so I'm hoping that we'll have a really great shot on Saturday.
Been a great addition to Los Alamitos this week. Looking forward to seeing you continue winning races, racing some nice horses here.
Thank you so much.
So that was CC talking about Charming Danza. Interesting enough, she mentioned, Orlando, that once she's galloping these horses, working these horses, she kind of feels that maybe with the re-addition of blinkers, he'll be more involved here tonight. But she also mentioned that she's interested in stretching him out to a mile. So we might be able to see this runner during the daytime season here coming up, maybe in September.
Exactly right. That's exactly what I was thinking when she was talking about that. Mm-hmm. And now that she's on these horses in the morning, she's galloping these horses more frequently. She gets that better feel, that extra, just a little bit of a better feel on these horses and how they're performing.
Start of the pick 6. That's where you're able to catch up with someone else there in race number 4.
Yeah, we were able to talk to trainer Matt Fales, he's going to have a horse by the name of Breaker that will be running in this race, making his debut. And this horse actually worked with Christy Ledoux, who we saw last weekend race and finished second in her debut. So Breaker, the horse needs to get a good start. He didn't have the fastest of works, 13 flat, but again, such a big key is just to break out of there and kind of maybe stick around. And this isn't the super strongest as far as on paper. Single Me looks pretty tough. My game plan, a horse that has been facing some pretty tough rivals. Those are the horses that should be very competitive in this race. But Breaker, maybe with a little bit of a nice start, can maybe win at a nice price. 8-1 on the morning line right now.
Breaker is going to be making his racing debut after working against Christy Ledoux, who ran a really nice second in her debut. Breaker, how is he going to do first time out?
Well, if Breaker can break out of the gates up to his capabilities, I think he's got a chance. He's making his first lifetime start. Oftentimes those first-time starters will hesitate a little bit leaving there. But if he can maintain his position on the racetrack, I believe the Colts got a little talent.
While we're talking about this race, I want to focus on the 6-horse Orlando. That is going to be my game plan. And I'm going to bring up the replay there for July 24th. He was in race number 8. And watch this start here for my game plan. Gate 5. Jonathan Roan was aboard that night. Gets out to a clean start. And he begins to run a little bit green. You see he's shifting his legs, his strides. And the rider just trying to keep him as straight as possible. He's never able to settle into a smooth stride. So he's still finishing with some run. And when you factor that he was never asked at all by his rider because he was kind of just trying to keep him as straight as possible. And they came home in a pretty solid 9.70 for that trial. So my game plan didn't really get an opportunity to run and really show what he can do in my eyes for that race there. So I'm thinking that tonight, drop in class, outside post, my game plan to me is my single for that early pick 4.
Yeah, and you can see the horse's head just kind of going back and forth as Jonathan Roman's just trying to get the horse pointed in the right direction, straight ahead. And it was a pretty decent field. It was a trial to the John Deere. Juvenile, Dash a Good Reason was undefeated. Going into that trial, remained undefeated after that victory. KR Hercules, Good Trouble, they all did show some nice run there. So my game plan now, looking to bounce back, and we've seen trainer Montia Rosa, whose horses seem to improve, especially after some races where you can spot some trouble. Scoops Dynasty, an example of that, winning the John Deere. In fact, for the same connections here, owners Edward and Bonze McNeely's, and those owners bred this horse just like they bred Scoops Dynasty. Yeah,
so that's going to be my single for my pick 4. The morning line favorite is Single Me on the inside, who has consistent form at $16,000 levels. Last time I was in a claiming stakes trial, finished 5th with a little bit of a breaking out from the outside post. So I'm going with the class drop on my game plan, switching to the outside post, and never settled into a smooth stride there last time out. So my game plan to me, off of that videotape review, looks like had more in the tank in that event. Race number 5, this is a conditional claimant event, 300 yards, conditional claimers. Why don't we catch up with Matt Fales?
Several horses going in some good races. You have 2 going together, Bossy Chick and also IC Icon. And you really like Bossy Chick, right? What makes you so excited to see her run?
Well, Orlando, Bossy Chick is in a really good level for her conditions, I think. And she's always shown us some talent along the way. And when she doesn't get in trouble, she's always been first, second, or third. So hopefully we have some luck, and Saturday night she can show what she can do.
In the allowance race, Harrison coming off of a Governor's Cup Derby appearance, a solid contender here against a pretty tough field of allowance runners.
Yeah, Orlando. Harrison has been a little bit of a challenge all year. I've had him where he's been in good spots, and something will happen, and he won't get there. But he's got his work cut out for him. I know he's going to try his best. As far as winning, we'll see.
And in the final race of the night, Separate Delight going at 110 yards. Fast horse, perfect distance for Separate Delight. Done well at that distance.
Yeah, Separate Delight has really found a home here at Los Alamitos. We've been running in the 110 yards consistent with her. She seems to like it. Her last race was a really good third against a strong field. This field on Saturday night is also going to be very tough. So with her best race, I could see her being in the trifecta.
And on Sunday, we can't forget about Sunday. We have the inaugural Los Alamitos claiming Futurity, and you have a contender in that race.
Yeah, we have Go Out in there, and it's really exciting to participate in this race this year. All year we've been thinking about who we were going to run in it, and this colt ended up coming up, and we thought that it would be a good experience.
So there's Matt Fales, Orlando, catching up. He's got IC Icon and Bossy Chick in the same event here. He's kind of leaning that Bossy Chick might be better suited, but he's got two contenders, and they're drawn in gate 3 and 5.
Yeah, when I stopped by the barn, I said, hey, let's talk about all the horses in there. He's like, okay, but I got to start talking about Bossy Chick. We got to talk about Bossy Chick. So he's really excited to see how she'll come back and perform in Saturday's race here. I've coming off of that nice victory. This was a horse that I picked a few times, and it kind of got burned. Didn't perform up to that level, but sometimes it just takes horses a little bit of time. This horse was very lightly raced as a 2-year-old, and during her 3-year-old year, they just kind of keep trying different things until they find their right spot. Bossy Chick. Let's see if she makes a step forward following that nice victory when she broke her maiden.
Yeah, Bossy Chick there. You see the third place finisher, Relentless Times, out of that same Comet event, came back to get his diploma for now the Barn of Valentines and Media, and won by a length and a half next time out at the same level there, and actually happened last weekend. Also spoke to Ricardo Guillen. He's got Calendar Girl Cartel right here. Yeah,
and Matt Fales said that's the horse we got to beat. Is number 6 Calendar Girl Cartel. This horse won 2 outs ago. In that race, this horse broke in pretty hard, bumped, and then came flying midway through the race and won pretty clearly, pretty easily. That was for trainer Jesus Mendoza. Ricardo Guillen is now training some of the horses for E.G. High Desert Farms, looking for an improve on this horse after running 5th against allowance horses, heatedly, racy, high hopes. We've seen these horses race at nice levels for many, many starts here at Los Alamitos. Number 6 Calendar Girl Cartel, now going back to a level where she should be super competitive.
Yeah, let's talk to Ricardo Guillen there in the morning.
We're here with trainer Ricardo Guillen. Ricardo, you have several nice horses running on Saturday. Let's talk about the first one here, Calendar Girl Cartel. It's been competitive, solid. How do you think she'll do?
On the outside post, kind of iffy. She's going to be alone on one side. But if everything goes good, I mean, if she breaks in the lead the way she's been breaking and she holds them off, hopefully we can get the victory. Hopefully. It's horse racing. You can go in there with a 1-9 shot, and then all of a sudden, she doesn't want to run that day.
Also, later on the card, you have a nice pair, BF Nobody's Foos, a horse that you claimed off of a nice claiming stakes victory. How's the horse been acclimating to your barn?
The horse, you know what? He has been getting along pretty good. We've changed a couple of things on him. You really don't want to mess with a horse has that many wins under its record. You kind of want to just go with what it's doing. But I mean, if you along the way want to try something, and everybody on the team is on board, you all try different, give it a shot. Maybe the horse will run better. Maybe he'll run bad. I mean, for right now, the way we have him set up, we haven't changed much. We should have a good race out of him.
And he's going against a stablemate. There she go.
Yeah, there she go. What can I say? It's gonna be a tough race. There's a couple good horses in that race. I can't count. I didn't want to put all my eggs in one basket, but sometimes you have to jump in the water head first. Hopefully, one of the two could get the win. It's gonna be a tough race. Competition in that race is kind of tough. They're all winners. So you got to give each horse their equal respect.
Yeah, and I mean, you are the favorite with BF Nobody's Foos, at least on the morning line, 5-2. There she go. believe it's 6-1. So it's pretty good competitive race.
BF Nobody's Fools, he's been consistent with the previous barn. And, that's about his price range, you would say. You got to think about, we're in California going against some of the top quarter horses in the nation. These horses are top quality quarter horses in the nation. And when you put horses up of the same caliber, you'll get a good race. You'll get a blanket finish where you see 7-8 horses just come across the line and a head bob separates the winner.
So it makes quarter horse racing super exciting. Thanks so much, Ricardo. Best of luck.
There's Ricardo. He's got Calendar Girl Cartel Orlando. This filly has been a little bit difficult to ride at times, but they're like the chances here towards the outside. And, he says the first time that he's going to be racing under Her's barn. But, like he talked about, that win was very impressive with trouble 2 starts ago.
Yeah. So it's a pretty solid race. We'll see how this pans out in this one. Of course, Favorite Girl Cartel, 905, the morning line favorite. I like the one, El Junior A, another horse that I've been following. One of those horses that always teases you, Jose.
It does. Yeah.
Look at all those second place finishes. Finally won a race back on April 11th, but he's, for some reason, I'm always attracted to this horse, El Junior A, and here I am bringing him up
because he's not a good gate breaker. Even when he broke his maiden, he broke very bad, but he was so much the best that he just galloped out in front. But if he gets out to any kind of a clean start from that inside post, I think he fits well there under Juan Pablo Leon. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll take a look at the second half of the card, which features the late pick 4 here on this Saturday night. When you talked there to Ricardo Guillen, he was kind of mentioning other runners later in the card, including here in this event. He's got 2 runners in this very good claiming 12-5 event, and he's got There She Go, and he's got BF Nobody's Fool, who he claimed out of the claiming stakes last time out. Very nice win. He kind of mentioned that they're not going to really try to change much on BF Nobody's Fools because he's sharp. 3 wins out of 8 starts. They're just hoping that he keeps that good form.
Yeah, one of the things that he didn't change is he did go back and found a jockey that had some experience riding BF Nobody's Fools, Alberto Zepeda. Rode this horse to a 4th place finish in a claiming event, a pretty tough claiming event for $16,000 horses. And now gets an opportunity to ride him again for Ricardo Guillen. But I think it's a pretty solid race. Isa Brayton has been on fire, has won 3 races in a row. Valkiki has been running pretty solidly here at Los Al. And of course, Ricardo will also be saddling There She Go. A runner that he just said was looking for a spot for There She Go to go in. I'm not crazy about running her against BF Nobody's Fools. But, she does have some talent, as shown by that daylight victory 2 races back. And let's see, maybe he lands an exacta here.
What I like about There She Go is that she's cutting back to 300 yards. Because last time out, if you watch the replay on July 11th, she actually broke fairly well. She was involved in the battle for the lead up to the gap. She kind of just shortened strides in the second half of the race. So maybe the gate speed that she showed last time out and in that win with the cutback to 300 yards should be a better fit there for There She Go. But she's only a one-time winner, and she's facing other runners that has 2 wins, 3 wins. So it's a very competitive group here in race number 6, excuse me. Moving over to race number 7, Orlando.
Yeah, a horse that kind of caught my eye. It was number 2, Bosco, just off of his workout a couple of Saturdays ago. August 7th went 12-4. And another thing that caught my eye as well is that I remember the mother, Bring Me Home. She was a very competitive older mare, running a lot of those in that division. Won a stakes race here at Los Alamitos. She was just a hard trier. And the 2, Bosco, you can see in his work, and maybe you have an opportunity to show it, Jose, if possible. That workout, that gate work from August 7th, you'll see that this horse, here, breaking from the outside. We'll be going 12-4 versus Special Miracles runner going 12-6. He was leaning just a little bit towards the inside, and he broke inwardly. And then he comes back right here to his running path, and is just chomping at the bit to go. You can see what a nice roll he got going second half of the work.
Yeah, good gallop out as well.
Yeah, had a really good gallop out as well. Continue with nice energy all the way around the clubhouse turn, Jose. And, I know this is a first-time starter, and it's not easy for these first-time starters to win going against horses with racing experience. Yeah. But, there's nothing in this race that I think is just stands out head over heels over everybody else. Belo Cartel has had some decent performances early on. So maybe Bosco 5-1 shot here, maybe with a surprise. Looking for a little bit of a prize play here in the late pick 4, Jose.
Yeah, that is Bosco running gate 2 right inside of Pentos. Like you mentioned, there's not a lot of consistent form here. So that could be a good start for a first-time starter like the likes of Bosco or Jose Flores to make an impact. Good drill there, good gallop out, and was under a hand right there and nicely pulled away in the second half of the drill from the workmate there. Belo Cartel's the first-time gelding, now in the barn of Jorge Farias. He's the most experienced runner in this field. Has never been favored, but has been supported on top board in a few occasions there. And on the outside is Cold Fusion for Cecil de Alba, a horse that got bumped pretty solidly there at the start and never really had an opportunity to show much in that event. So interesting race with a first-time starter, a second-time starter in Pentos there, and a first-time gelding in Belo Cartel. Should be an interesting race there as part of the late pick 4. Moving down the list, you have Tuck, who we saw compete in trials last season. Orlando here back in October and November of last year. Ran very well in 2 trials, and he comes back from Ruidoso.
Yeah, and did pretty solidly at Ruidoso as well, finishing 3rd in both his trial to the Ruidoso Derby and his trial to the Rainbow Derby. And Tuck here maybe preparing for a late campaign, maybe getting acquainted to being back in California, and maybe hoping for a late season run, and maybe as a nice older horse in races next year, like the Winter Championship, etc. And Johnny Trotter, Bobby Simmons, names that we've seen many, many times here at Los Alamitos, enjoyed nice success. Bobby Simmons currently with Mental Error. Johnny Trotter won the 2018 Champion of Champions with Bodacious Eagle, and of course was part of the ownership team of the great One Famous Eagle. Yes. So they know what fits here at Los Al.
Yeah, so they got Tuck back on the grounds here at Los Al, previous finalist to the Ruidoso Futurity back in June of 2020. Finished 4th in that event. So Tuck looking to get back into top form here at Los Alamitos. That is going to be race number 8, the start of the late double. We also talked to Matt Fales. He had a runner here in the nightcap, Orlando. He actually had, did he have 2 runners? No, he only had 1 runner, and that was all the way towards the outside in Separate Delight. Kind of mentioned Separate Delight could be in the mix there for the trifecta. Separate Delight, I thought, ran very well last time out to complete the trifecta after not breaking all that well. If she can break like she did 3 starts ago in that win, I think she deserves a shot there from that outside post.
She was on the track on Thursday, just getting ready for this race. And when I went to visit the barn of Matt Fales, she was just as easygoing and as quiet as you can be. A little bit of a shy horse, from what I can tell, which is fine. For 110 yards, you want a horse that can focus nicely and be ready to fire. And looks pretty solid in that one. Reason to stay in for Valentin Zamudio, a horse that has been that's coming off of a nice victory at a nice price, won at 12-1 at this distance. And the horse that I like here is from the Paul Jones barn, Sweet Expectations, horse that has a lot of stakes experience here at Los Al and can be quick out of the gate. That's all I want, is just for this horse to break on the lead, and I think maybe the overall class from Sweet Expectations can get her a victory here at Los Al at 110 yards.
Yeah, Sweet Fixation drawn in gate number 4 for Henry Lopez and Paul Jones. Apolitical B Beast. I was a fan of the gate speed of the dam, Chalala, Orlando. She was a rocket ship out of the gate, and so she's got this 4-year-old mare coming in from Remington Park. Good solid workout there on July 17th Yeah, Apolitical BB solo workout. Good fast start, good acceleration, just like her mom did many a times here at Los Al. And she's gonna, get tapped once they're right-handed. But I like the way her compact stride, just compact, gets to work, good acceleration, bullet workout, 12 flat there on July 17th. She might be ready to go, Orlando. She might be ready to go right back at Los Al.
And the morning line 6-1, Jose.
It's kind of juicy. I don't know. I don't think we're gonna get that 6-1 on Apolitical BBs there. But I like her. She's running gate 3. I think she deserves a big shot there. And the nightcap in race number 9. We do expect the favorite to be towards the outside, and that is He's Our Star. He's Our Star off of that sharp win in 7.08. Are they going to go faster than that, Orlando, here in the nightcap?
I'm going to say no.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm with you. I think everything would have to be an absolute rocket start for someone to kind of go under that 7.08. Interesting enough, he comes out of a claiming event, but he was a betting favorite and he got the job done. Ramon Sanchez not riding tonight, so Victor Salazar has the mount there for Jorge Farias.
Got to remember that race when He's Our Star went 7.08. That was race number 4.
Correct.
So there may have been some daylight.
Yes. Yeah. So you might be true about that. The daylight might have helped that night. He's Our Star there.
A little bit of extra time. So, but it'll be close. Maybe 17-15. 7:15 or something along those lines.
Yeah, that's kind of where Separate Delight won in 7-11, but with a little bit of a tailwind. But it does appear like the betting favorite probably will be He's Our Star. I like the price on the 3-horse, Apolitical BBs, and you like Swedish Fixation. Orlando, just your horse, please don't bump my horse, okay? please, and we'll be okay there.
You tell your horse the same.
So that's a look at race number 9 there. Actually, look at a little bit of the card there for this Saturday evening. So again, to recap, I'm going to go for my single in the early pick 4 in race number 4. That is going to be on the outside runner there. From my game plan there for Jose Nicasio and Monty Orosa. So Orlando, to recap, post time around 7:30ish, maybe with Del Mar.
7:30ish, yeah, we'll see. It's a big day at Del Mar, but we'll be running around that time. 9 races, solid card, some very competitive action here at Los Al, and of course the weekend will continue on Sunday with the inaugural running, Jose, of the Los Alamitos claiming Futurity. Trainer Matt Fales talked a little bit about his horse that's going in that race, the fastest qualifier, El Tío Angel from Felix Gonzalez's barn. There's another horse in there that I like, Women's Secrets, who's been racing in some trials, some Futurity trials here at Los Alamitos. And the cool thing about this race is the horses could not be claimed out of the trials. So, if they qualified, they had a chance at a big money. They got to start to earn a piece of the purse, $55,000 for the final here at Los Alamitos. But in the final, they can be claimed. And, you're going to have to pay $12,500 to get a horse here. So, it makes it pretty interesting, I think, an interesting gamble here for those that are looking to maybe claim a horse out of here. They got to pay a little bit of money. Nice money for some nice horses that qualify to this race.
Over under, Orlando, how many horses do you think will have claims there on the final?
I'm going to say 4.
runners?
4.
4? Okay.
You think more?
I'm saying...
Might be
I'm gonna
more.
Say 5. I'm going to say 5.
Okay.
I'm going to say 5. Maybe 5 potential runners might exchange hands there. But that's a pretty interesting race because now you're entered for a tag. You got a risk there into the Los Alamitos claiming final there.
Maybe
that's
10
Sunday night. maybe that the state will love all those extra taxes there with all the claims. Hopefully, plenty in action. Orlando, thanks as always.
One more thing, Jose, before we go. The nominations are out for the Go Man Go Handicap, which will be held next Sunday. So let me read you some of the names.
I got my pen ready.
We start off with Apolitical Pence,
Ooh,
Champion of Champions winner last year.
Okay.
We follow it with Cattail Cove, Chocolatito.
I've always been a fan of Cattail Cove. Okay.
I know. Chocolatito is back.
Consistent.
Yep. Circle City, winner of the Vessel's Maturity. has
I mean,
already.
that's already a solid. If we can get those four, it's already a tremendous field.
Eagles Fly Higher.
All right. Okay.
John Carter Cash, Jose.
Oh yeah.
And this horse had a workout recently, so that's available on our website as well. Just Be Real, Made Over, Mental Error, who we mentioned,
Yeah,
Mr.
consistent.
Tornado,
Okay.
Mr. Ricks, who also worked recently here at Los Al. You got Nomadic, second out after a long layoff and ran second, I believe, right to Circle City in the Vessel Futurity.
Yeah.
Redneck Ryan, pretty consistent. Starbuck and You Can Run, who I believe won the Spring Stakes on California Breeders' Champions Night. So that's the list of horses in the Go Man Go Handicap. 10 will go in that Go Man Go Handicap. It's going to be a heck of a race.
Now, and is that race still holds a backup berth to the Champion of Champions?
This is the first alternate.
Oh, the first alternate. That's what I meant to say. Yeah, so it's still the first alternate there.
Yeah. Powerful Favorite won it last year, and he ran in the Champion of Champions for the Go Man Go. So
tremendous nominations. If we can get those runners, grab 10 of those and get them into that final, into that race there, that will be a tremendous field assembled for the Go Man Go. So that is in 2 weeks, correct?
Next Sunday.
Yeah, next Sunday. Yeah. So I'm kind of thinking ahead. So this week and then next week. So next week, next Sunday for the Go Man Go. All right, Orlando, looking forward to it. Thanks for the interviews. Thanks for the analysis. Looking forward to this weekend at Los Al here from Cypress, California. Post time around 7:30 p.m. following the Pacific Classic card, TVG Pacific Classic card from Del Mar.
Thank you, Jose.
Thank you. Have a good week.